Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel, Kindred Souls of Brooklyn. And we're here at my local church in Sarasota, Florida. And we're here for the Feast of St. Francis, the annual blessing of the animals. I'll tell you a little bit about St. Francis. But first, let's check out some of the animals who came today to be blessed. So, what's her name?
Mary.
Hi Mary, how you doing? It's a good name. It's a Feast of St. Francis today. You got a nice religious name. How old is Mary?
7.
Wow. She's beautiful. And we have Luca right here. He's a brindle. Look how adorable he is. Oh my God, very friendly too. Wow. Hey Luca. He's looking at some of the others. Hey Luca. Say hi to Kerry. He's really cute. He's like, I don't want to be on the video, Al. Really something. They're adorable. Hello, everybody. You like a singing chorus, like in Magic Kingdom.
They're all friendly.
They're so cute. Adorable. We got all greyhounds here today. Look at them. It's Greyhound Day. All nice. One nice thing in there. Luke is my favorite. So we did have this guy come here too. He's in his little box here, in a cage or whatever. Look how fast he's going. If you've ever seen the old movies, Ben or Willard, rats, when I was a little kid, they were like really popular movies. Still good today. Look how fast he's going. Of course, being I'm from Brooklyn, we're not too, we've kind of used to seeing mice and rats in the subways and stuff and whatever, but they're kind of like neighbors in a way, especially when they work so hard. Look at this guy. Holy cow. That's what I need to do when I eat McDonald's. I need to get on one of these darn things. How fast he is. I'm going to call you Zephyr. And here we have Joey, the guinea pig. How you doing, Joey? You look very happy in there after you got your blessing. That was amazing. They were incredible to meet, all of them. I didn't see any cats today, but I might have missed them. I came a little late. I had actually a nail in my tire that I had to fix at Firestone. I wanted to show up here on time, but I was a little bit late. But anyway, just some facts on St. Francis, why the Feast of St. Francis is today, October 4th. A lot of people don't realize that St. Francis was actually a knight, and he was fighting for Italy. I think he was fighting for Assisi, but he was fighting against Perugia, and he was taken prisoner, and he spent like a year in prison. And I think his family was wealthy, so I think it took about a year for his father to arrange his release. I might have that fact wrong, but I know he was wealthy. And while he was in prison, he had some visions, and he realized that he didn't want to be a soldier. He wanted to be a servant of God. And after he came out, he dedicated his life to Christ. And his main message, long before the Lion King, long before all these kinds of things, was that he believed in, if for lack of a better word, the circle of life. How everything was not so much connected, but how if everything showed God's love. So there's famous stories of St. Francis taming a wolf. It's the Wolf of Gubbio. There's a famous story of St. Francis when he would actually preach to the animals, not expecting an answer, but they responded to him. He was preaching to birds, and the birds all of a sudden became silent when he was giving his speech. And he also was known for all kinds of miraculous things, not just with animals, with people, but he was also very much into like the earth. And so it was basically the whole universal love. So his basic thing was, if you loved almost God's creatures and you loved the earth and you respected the earth, you were respecting God, because it was a symbol of God's love and God's creations. And St. Francis actually gave up his money, and he lived a life of he wasn't a priest, he was a friar, kind of like a deacon would be. And so he lived in like the late 1100s, early 1200s, and he actually, a lot of people don't realize this, he was the first person ever in recorded history to receive the stigmata, which is the marks of Jesus Christ. There hasn't been many people. You have to be really, really, really religious person to receive that. And it's been, documented. Padre Pio was probably the most famous person who it's been documented with and received, because he lived in later times. He lived like in the 1930s, but St. Francis was the first one to receive this, and it wasn't permanent. He received it during like a vision that he had gotten. And so of course St. Francis is probably one of the more popular Catholic saints and powerful Catholic saints out there. And of course he's always associated with the animals, but he did a lot of great things. So I just suggest, do some reading up on St. Francis. You'd be really amazed. And these celebrations, or what you call these blessings of the animals, obviously it started out as a Catholic thing, but now Christian churches all across the country are doing it as well. So it's nice. I mean, it's you don't have to be Catholic to celebrate, good things. So I just to go back to I was looking at a lot of greyhounds in there, as you saw, and the greyhound story, it's interesting. It's probably a subject for another video, but I was talking to David, who owns Luca, and he was telling me that all the greyhounds that I saw who were being blessed there were, a lot of them are adopted. They're rescues, because he was telling me the only state that still has dog racing in America is West Virginia, and they do it in Ireland. But once their racing career is over, which is probably a year or two or something like that, they just kind of like, people just put them up and get rid of them or whatever. So it's a big movement in the country to adopt greyhounds. And the breed is so incredible. It's probably one of the best breeds you can have in terms of a calm, peaceful dog. And also, because he was saying that because, over the years they just were bred for racing and speed. And it's actually funny because they're almost like little kids. They have a burst of energy, like the 5-minute run or whatever that run is, and then they just kind of relax and sleep or whatever. But it's one of the better breeds that a lot of people don't know too much about. I mean, me in Brooklyn, I never really grew up with anybody with a greyhound. All I knew about greyhounds was pretty much they raced and they were on the side of buses, like when we'd pass the Port Authority or something. But they're a fantastic breed. So if you have a chance to adopt a greyhound, I'd look into that too. They're very healthy dogs too. They don't get hip dysplasia because they're so light and thin. They don't get a lot of the things that some of the heavier dog breeds get, the bigger dog breeds get. And very loving. As you can see in the picture I put on the thumbnail, I got a nice kiss from Luke. He was very friendly. He was my favorite. That brindle collar, oh my God, incredible. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. A little bit of a different video, or kind of a cool video. Carrie's actually working. Like I said, I'm working too today, but I had to wake up early today. Uncharacteristically for me, I'm usually like Count Dracula. I stay up really late, and I start working about 2 o'clock, so I can kind of do those crazy hours. But today was a little earlier. So I like the sunglasses, but today I think I need the sunglasses. Anyway, have a great day. I love you. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe if you found this interesting. And if you didn't, give me some ideas for some videos. That would be really cool too. Have a great day. And God bless you on St. Francis feast day. And blessing to all the animals. Take care now. Bye.